Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to talk about the Bingham Canyons Post Office. It was built in 1933 and was known as the most beautifulest building in Bingham. So stay tuned.
The Bingham Post Office. We have some great pictures of them constructing this 1933 Bingham Post Office. And again, we turn to Larry Sachs and thank him for saving these wonderful photos. This building would be referred to as the most handsome building on Main Street, or the finest building in Bingham. According to Michael Ann Rogan, yes, her name is Michael, I asked her myself, there was a number of different post offices in Bingham until they finally built the one on 407 Main in 1933. On an early photo of the post office, she made this comment, quote, "The first post office in 1870 was on Main Street, just above the junction of Car Fork and Main. When my dad came to Bingham in 1911, the post office was in the upper part of the ground floor of the Golden Rule store, which would later become J.C. Penney Company number 13. Sometime in the 1920s, the post office moved across the street to the ground floor of the Society Hall, which would later become the BCO Hall. It remained there until 1933 when the post office was built at 407 Main. And it was the finest building in Bingham, unquote. This is the earliest picture I have of the post office. This might be the one up on Car Fork and Main at the junction there. Here's a photo of the Golden Rule store, what would later become J.C. Penney. And there's some more pictures of to show where that was up on Main Street, where that J.C. Penney was. Then Michael Ann told us that the post office moved across the street to the Society Hall building sometime in the 1920s. So here's a picture of that location. The building had a unique roof line and the front porch, so it's easy to spot in these pictures. We have a bunch of pictures of that building and looking up the canyon, and this photo of it right here, you can see above the door they have a plaque or a sign that says the post office. So that's a real neat picture right there. Then just some more pictures of looking up the canyon to that building. Then we go to the 1933 location. Now remember, in 1924, they had that big fire there, and there was a lot that was left empty for years. This 1929 Stanmore Fire Insurance map shows that empty lot. And then we have some 1928 picture of that empty lot also. And here's a picture of just one lone car parked in that lot. That's kind of neat. And then we start construction. Look at those cars and the early steam shovel in there. Note one of the first things they did was build a retaining wall in the back. That was always a must in Bingham because it was right next to the mountainside. It was always coming down on them. Look at this old truck. Wow, check out that. And then look at the graffiti from Bingham High School seniors on the wall. Thought that was kind of fun. I love looking at these early construction pictures and how they did things. Like they're working in the snow and they got all this wood lined up right here and even a lot of rebar, a lot of steel he was going to put in the cement. Then the building's finally taken shape. Note the granite furniture store there. There's a big sign right there, branch number 4. It will be right next to the post office. Now this is the back of the building, and then across the street you'll see that it's the Utah Copper Hospital. We will later call that the clinic. Now these guys right here, they're working on the stairs. Look at their truck. I want that truck they're driving. And then this is the loading dock in the back, and they're bricking the chimney. Then we have some neat inside pictures of the building. It looks like they got bags of, it said Nephi hardwall, so that might be the plaster they could use on the inside walls. That's kind of neat. Here's another inside picture, and they're See, they got the cabinets in there, and they're putting moldings and windows and lights. And I bet this was really beautiful inside, just looking at these black and white pictures. And then this is a picture of the side yard. You can see the mountain in the background. And then this right here is a stone plaque from the building. It has the name of the Secretary Treasurer, the Postmaster General, the architects, Scott and Welch. Now remember, they also designed the houses in the community of Copperton and a lot of other buildings around the state. And so it also has a year on it. It says 1933. That's when they completed the post office. Then this is a nice panoramic view of the canyon in 1940. And this is where the post office was. Then some close-ups of that post office. I put a little red dot there, so just above it, so you can see where it was at, because it's kind of hard to spot in that picture. Then we have some pictures of the Utah Copper Hospital, or the clinic, as we called it. This was in 1940, this picture was taken. Now, years later, in 1969, I'll take my physical here to start work at the mine. We'll end with this nice colored picture looking down from the mountainside to the back of the building. So that's the post office at Bingham Canyon.